Hey guys, welcome to this live webinar for Perth fitness professionals on how to create an online fitness business. I'm just going to give it a couple of minutes, guys, just for those who are joining us live to jump on the feed. If you are watching this on replay, feel free to skip ahead a couple of minutes to the action. Hey Whitney, thanks for joining us. Dan, how you doing, mate? Just give a couple of minutes, guys, for everyone to join the live feed before we kick this off so people don't miss anything. Susie, how you doing? This is our live webinar, guys. Stephen, thanks for joining us. Live webinar on how to build your online fitness business, which give you about another 90 seconds for people to jump on this feed. Those of you who are joining, just drop a comment, guys, below. Let me know where you're watching from. Are you at home? Are you on your own in a gym? Where are you, guys? Mario, thanks for joining us. Hey, Rafa, thanks for joining in. Just going to give another minute, guys, just for people to jump on this live feed. This is our live webinar on how to build an online fitness business. Hey, Maddie, thanks for jumping in. Dan Meaden just left the beach, not surprised. Where are you watching from, Rafa? Steve, how you doing? Susie's at home, where she should be. Luke, thanks for joining us. Guys, we'll just give 30 seconds just for everyone to jump in and join the live feed. Hi, Ellen. Thank you for joining in this live webinar, how to create an online fitness business. Just give you guys another 15 seconds to jump on. This will be available, replay. Raf is watching from his empty gym. Sorry, Rafa. Hey Emma, thanks for joining in. Jacob, good to see you, mate. Thanks for joining the feed. Okay, guys, thank you very much for joining me. I'm Dan from Range of Motion Business Mentoring. Today I'll be talking about how to build an online fitness business. Now, this is actually content that I put together several months ago based on the fitness business, the online fitness business that I've built, which we've been running for about 5 years. We have at our peak, with our full focus on this, 40 clients following our online individualized programming with each paying $60 a week. So this I think segues pretty well to what a lot of you guys will be trying to set up at the moment. So what I'm going to do, let me give you a super fast run through. These are the 21 steps that you guys need to be taking to set up your online business. Now, bear in mind, some of these steps are more pertinent to non-crisis mode. So this is what you'd be setting up 6 months ago or maybe in 6 months' time. Some of this stuff we do have to gloss over a bit today because there is a bit more of a sense of urgency. But quick summary, here are your 21 steps, and then I'll talk you through each of these in a little more detail. Firstly, you need to identify your direction. Where are you now? Where do you want to be with this business? Work out your avatar, who you're trying to help. That's step number 2. Work out your unique selling proposition. What do you do better than everyone else who's now doing the same thing? Give your service a name, obviously, easy stuff. Identify the pain points of your avatars, and from them, define the product or experience that is solving these pain points. This may be individualized, one size fits all, 3 or 4 different streams of the program, or some sort of hybrid model that you'll be running. The 6th step, and these are all in order, setting up your social media stuff specific to your online programming and start putting out some coming soon and behind the scenes documentation and posts. Step 7, determine where there's going to be a single level of product or various tiers, which will be based on the needs of your avatars. Step 8, you're going to use the pain points of each of your avatars and decide what's going to be contained in your product or service or the client experience that is going to then solve these pain points. Now, this can be a multitude of things. This can be programming, check-in calls, texts to follow up on sessions, comments and feedback on all sessions that people are logging, video analyses, demo videos and some sort of exercise video library, session notes, talking through the science and intent of each session, private Facebook group, etc. We'll talk about those more as we go. Step 9, you want to decide on the delivery mode for your service and systemizer. We'll be talking about all that in this webinar as well. Step 10, decide what's actually in your programming. Is it just a workout? Is it pre and post exercise stuff? Is there mindset stuff? Is there nutrition stuff in there? 11, decide on the pricing for your products. 12, decide on the pricing structure for your products. Is it a one-off payment, subscription based? We'll talk about that. Decide how you're going to receive payments, EFT or Stripe or PayPal. We'll talk about the pros and cons of each. You then need to define the macro client journey, what the procedure is long-term. You need to have some sort of website or online presence. I'll talk you through what needs to be on that website to convert as many clients as you can. Step 16, you need to decide on your programming style, which a lot of you guys will know already, and then systemize the process of programming. Step 17, set up systems to track the journey of your clients. 18, launch the service. So we're step 18 of 21. We're now talking about launching. In this current environment, we will be pushing that further up the list. Step 19, you're going to be creating, leveraging, and automating content distribution based on the pain points of your avatars, which is something you guys should probably be looking at from early next week. Step 20, paid social media advertising, and finally, how to document the ongoing experience of your clients. Those are our 21 steps. I will, again, share this video. This will be available on our YouTube channel. So I will share this video and I will include those 21 steps in that so you can really get a good breakdown. For those of you who may have joined us late, this video will be available for replay. I'll post some links around so you guys can check that out. Okay, let's break down these steps. Let's talk about how to build an online fitness business. And again, a disclaimer or point that I made before. This is creating a fitness business when times are good in a normal climate. So we will at times talk about things that may or may not be important at this stage. First step, you need to establish your direction. You need to work out where you are now in terms of what your product delivery is and where you want to be. You need to define the business that you need to have. Now, at the moment, it's very reactive. We're just trying to get online and not lose our clients. But you're going to have to start thinking about, what do you want this product to look like in 3 months? It can't be the same product you've got now. What do you want this product to look like in 6 months? What do you want this product to look like in 3 years? Because there's an opportunity here for you to use something that's been built now and continue to have this and develop this in 3 years' time. A good way to do this is to define the lifestyle that you want this to give you. Now, 2 months ago, everyone was wanting to go to online programming because they could be a lifestyle entrepreneur and coach and work from the beach, which ironically is exactly what you got now. So be careful what you wish for. But identify what the lifestyle is and then work out the product that's going to give you that lifestyle. Too many people try and create this online fitness business and then whatever life that gives them, that's the life they have. Start with the lifestyle you want to have and design your business around that. So the first step, work out your direction. Where do you want this business to go? Second step is to define your avatar. This has never been more important. And here's why. 2 months ago, the online space was starting to become crowded, but we hadn't seen anything yet, obviously. But it was still niche. So there was still a niche element there. And I'll talk about that in step 3 when I talk about your unique selling proposition. It's not niche anymore. Every single person is doing this. So you need to really define your avatar. Are you helping real time poor people who are still in high level executive positions and working? Are you helping paramedics and fireys and cops who again have these time pressures? Are you helping stay-at-home mums who maybe have less income coming in because their husband's just been laid off? You're helping older people, you're helping people with no equipment. Who is it that you're really focusing on helping here? You need to define your avatar. If you're not sure how to do that, guys, drop me a message, please, and I'll send you through some information I have on a step-by-step process of how to define your avatar for your online programming. Step 3, define the unique selling proposition of your service. What is your USP? What do you do differently? Now remember, this is not the same as an avatar. Your USP is not older adults, athletes, teens. That's not your unique selling proposition. Your unique selling proposition is what you do better than anyone else in Perth, anyone else on earth. What is it that you do better? Is it individualization or aftercare or follow-up science-based information? You've got the best video library in the game. You need to find something that is your unique selling proposition, because this industry now, the online space, could not be more crowded. At the moment, you're just trying to hold on to your clients. In a few weeks and a few months, you're going to need to get some new clients. And they will be there. There will be plenty of people there because there'll be a bell-shaped curve of people who are amazing at this online delivery, people who are terrible at this online delivery, and a bunch of people in the middle. You need to be amazing at this. So anyone whose service is not good enough, the market will push them towards you. So work out the USP. What is it that you do better than anyone else? Not just for now, but for in the weeks and months to come. There's got to be something that you do better. At the moment, everyone's doing exactly the same thing. It is very plain and very vanilla. Find your unique selling proposition. Step 4, name your service. So if you are just, if you were Hard Flex Fitness and you're now still Hard Flex Fitness, but it's an online service, you're sort of missing an opportunity there to rebrand as a whole different service type. So you can still use that in your brand name. So for example, Range of Motion is my business name, and I have subcategories of that business. Range of Motion Individualized Programming, which is our online programming service. Range of Motion Nutrition Coaching, Range of Motion Business Mentoring. So we have these different branches and arms of the business. So brand this to something slightly different. Maybe that means you set up some new social media stuff. Maybe it doesn't. Options there for you. We'll talk about that in a moment. Next, on to step 5. You need to have identified the pain points of your clients in that avatar exercise. And again, if you're struggling with identifying your avatar, that is who it is you're trying to help, your target demographic, let me know and I'll send you through some links with some resources that will help you through that process. So using the pain points of the avatars, the things that are a problem. Maybe the pain point is I have no equipment. Maybe it is I don't know how to use technology. I've never done a video call before. Maybe it is I don't know how I can do this because surely there are only 2 or 3 exercises you can do at home. Identify the pain points. You then need to define what your product or service is going to be that solves the pain points of your clients. Let me give you an example. Our common thread that runs through the services of Range of Motion is individualization. And everything we do, be it our business mentoring, our programming, our client-facing contact, our nutrition stuff, it's all individualized to the client. It's our common theme. It's because we've identified a need in our target market, a need for more individualization, more individualized care, not a cookie cutter blanket approach. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with classes. It's just not what we choose to focus on. So what is the structure of your experience going to be? For Range of Motion, it's individualized, but you could have one size fits all. So the individualized model, you can charge more for it, but it's much more time intensive because every single client we have gets a completely individualized approach, completely individualized program, individualized care. A one-size-fits-all approach, you're going to charge less for, but you have to have more people to make this financially viable. By the same token, if you have 40 individualized clients or 40 one-size-fits-all clients, you're spending a 40th of the time on the one-size-fits-all because you're only putting together one program. Maybe you have 3 or 4 different streams. This is another option of your product, your delivery, your experience. You can say, okay, this is for people who have 0 equipment. This is for people who have a kettlebell. This is for people who want to focus on maintaining strength. This is for people who want to improve their cardiorespiratory endurance. This is for people who just want general health and fitness, etc. So you can have a bunch of different streams. Let's say you have 4 different streams, 4 different options that people can slot into. This is a one-size-fits-all approach, but with a little bit of individualization based on people's goals. So that may be a good model. Then, of course, you have a hybrid model. Now, a hybrid model is not so pertinent at the moment because this is more where you would say we're going to do part online and part face-to-face, part one-on-one, part class. Not really applicable at the moment, but in the future, this is something you could look at doing. And there could even be a legacy of the systems that you're setting up now where you continue people in this online space, but then you have a catch-up every week or fortnight or month, for example. Let's move on to step 6. This is setting up your social media accounts, which is something I've alluded to already. May not be a priority for you guys at the moment, but if you are rebranding or pivoting your branding here into the online space and you're using your business name but with a bit of an add-on, maybe you have separate accounts for this: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, etc. Good opportunity to move on to YouTube here, guys, now that you should be providing a lot more video content, and the video content's actually being created for you with some of the sessions that you'll be doing if you record them with your client. So set that stuff up and start littering it with as much behind the scenes, coming soon documentation as you can. The purpose of this documentation is to give people a little bit of a window into what you're doing. People love reality TV. They love this sort of almost like a voyeuristic peeping through someone's window to see what's happening in someone else's life. We really sort of get off on that. So that's what you want to do. You want to document what's happening behind the scenes. What happens in the day of a day in the life of an online personal trainer. How does this look different to normal personal training? This is a new court that we're now playing on. People will be interested in this. Show people some behind the scenes. Step 7, you're going to determine whether you're going to have a single level of product or various levels. And again, it's based on the needs of your avatars. So maybe you have different levels with different price points. Maybe you have that one size fits all approach. We talked about a different delivery method. And maybe that is $15 a week. Then maybe you have a mid-tier approach, which is where here's our strength stream, our conditioning stream, our flexibility stream, for example. And that's maybe $30 a week, where there's a little bit more individualized care. You have some extra things that you're giving them. And then at the top, maybe you have that real individualized service, which is maybe $40, $50, $60 or more dollars a week, which is using a lot more of your time. So work out whether you're going to have a single level of product or different tiers of product. On to step 8, you're going to go back and get the pain points of our avatars that we've talked about previously and that we're going to use from our avatar exercise. And you need to work out what the experience is, or what the actual product is, a tangible thing that they're getting. You need to work out what it is that solves their pain point. So I'm going to give you some examples. Maybe they just need programming. So they don't need any one-on-one attention. They just need someone to say, do this exercise. Yeah, cool, there's a couple of videos in here. Do your own thing. So that's just programming. That's one idea of the products you could be providing online. The second thing you could add in is a weekly, fortnightly, monthly check-in coaching call. So a video or an audio check-in. You could send through a video, yep, how are things going? You could send them through an audio message. You could give them a call. Just wanted to check in, what's going well, what's not, anything we need to adjust in your program. It can be an add-on to the service. Maybe your avatar is someone who is sort of highly strung, high performing. They need a lot of feedback on what they're doing. Maybe they get a little anxious. Maybe like a type A personality who wants to be perfect with everything. A text to follow up after each session, which you can automate, a reminder. 24 hours after every session on the dot, they get a text. Hey, it's been 24 hours since our last session. How are you feeling? How did you go? How did you pull up? Anything that we need to change? Maybe, again, if someone's needing a lot of feedback, comments and feedback on all logged sessions. So one of the things we do, we use TrueCoach for our program distribution with range of motion individualized programming, and have done for a couple of years. Every single session that our clients log, they get a comment. Hey, look good. I'm so glad you finally cracked 100 kilos on the deadlift. I think maybe the reps that you chose there were a little too low. Can you make a note next time to do 14 instead of 12 each set, for example? So every single session that they log, they get some feedback on. It's just another part of the service if it's a higher end product that you're trying to provide. Maybe you can do video analyses. So some of you guys may have seen the video analysis that I do for my individualized programming clients. You can check them out on the ROM Individualized Programming Instagram page, which is ROM _individualized _programming. And you can check out there using a program called Coach's Eye, where your clients can send you a video of what they've done. You do an analysis of that, send it back to them. You can then also send that through your social media as a marketing tool. The sixth product service experience you can give to your avatars there is having some sort of exercise library or demo videos for all the movements in their program. If you guys need access to these, feel free to use them with your clients. rangeofmotion.net.au/movement-library. A whole bunch of stuff there, links to almost 300 videos on our YouTube channel, which we have created to help to demonstrate some of the more complex movements and some of the simple movements to our clients. Using programs like Coach's Eye, I know PT Distinction, Train Heroic, some of you guys are using as well. You can actually embed the videos in there so they have full access to them. Another thing you can do is include session notes. So I've basically spent about 6 months writing session notes I'm up to about 800 or 900 of the sessions that we program, and it's real detailed notes, a couple of pages, health benefits, performance benefits, strategy, the science behind the session, tips, common mistakes, that sort of thing. You can include that. You can have these in a PDF that you can send them. You can have them as a hidden page on your website, so you can actually embed the links in the sessions, which is what we do. If you would like to check out an example of what I suggest those session notes look like, shoot me an email, dan@rangeofmotion.net.au, or reach out with me any way you like, and I will send you through an overview of exactly what you can be including in those. And of course, a private Facebook group for your clients. So let me run through those things again for you. These are the things that you can include in your online service: programming, weekly, fortnightly, or monthly check-ins, regular follow-up texts, comments and feedback on every session that your clients log and post in whatever software you're using, video analysis of their movements. You can have the demo videos embedded, session notes, and a private Facebook group. Let's move on to step 9 of setting up your online business. And this is working out the mode of delivery for your service and then systemizing it, which of course is key. We can talk about systemization a bit more on another day. If you'd like more details on that, hit me up and I'll send you through an article or a podcast episode that I've done on how to create good systems in your business. So you need to work out what sort of software you're going to be using. So that's the first potential delivery. Using software like TrueCoach, which is what I'm most familiar with because it's what we use through Range of Motion individualized programming. So are you going to deliver it through software? There's a lot out there at the moment, super easy to use. That would be my recommendation. Second option, maybe you just post it in a private Facebook group. This is for the one-size-fits-all approach where you have your group. Hey guys, here is the workout for you today. It gets posted in the group. They're effectively paying for their ability to be in that group with you and have full access. Of course, they can comment their results, you can comment on those, etc. I believe, and I'm not 100% up to date with this, I haven't looked into this, but I believe there are Facebook groups now and you can actually charge people a subscription to enter those groups. I'm not sure if that is rolled out Facebook worldwide, but I know in the US at least, it has been rolled out to some people, so maybe worth looking into. The third potential mode of delivery of your program is a PDF that you just email them weekly or even daily. So they get a PDF, just a document, a Word document, maybe something a little fancier that you save as a PDF and then you send it to them every week. Super easy just to get them programming. Not necessarily coaching here, but it is programming. Maybe you could do a video of each day's or each week's workouts or sessions, and you can email that to them every day or every week. So instead of getting a PDF, they get it in video format, which means you can include all of the demos and maybe some of your session notes and stuff in there as well. There could be an automated email chain. So if you're using anything like MailChimp, I use Campaign Monitor just because it's what we've always used, so it's what I continue to use, but I'd probably recommend MailChimp, although Campaign Monitor is doing a lot of development at the moment, which is good. You can basically set up an email chain where as soon as people subscribe, and you charge them to subscribe to that. As soon as they subscribe, it sets a bunch of dominoes in motion that automatically send them through emails as they go. Now, this can include your welcome emails, links to your movement library, and then it can be their training. So you can basically have a system where people enter their name and email address into the system, they hit enter, you don't touch anything, and then every week forever, for as long as you like, they'll just be getting an email automated every week. There's a bit of setup time here, but it's something that is a really good way to automate this as a long-term process. Not a lot of physical contact, not a lot of touch points and individualized communication from you, although you could build that in other ways. But there is an option there for you just to have a sort of set and forget sort of thing. And again, maybe that's exactly what your clients need. That could possibly be a good strategy for you. You could have the program sitting online on your website that's hidden behind some sort of paywall or some sort of a login they have to do. So they pay you for your service. They can then have the login details for your website and they just log in every week and access their program. Or it could be live video coaching, which of course is what a lot of people are doing now. So that's the 7th of the 7 different ways that you can get the information to people. Let me run through those again very quickly. Software like TrueCoach or Train Heroic, etc. PT Distinction, a post in a private Facebook group, a weekly emailed PDF, a weekly or daily video that is sent to them, an automated email chain, a website login, or a actual live face-to-face video coaching, as a lot of you guys are doing at the moment. Step 10, decide what's actually going to be in your programming. So what does your programming actually entail? What's included in it? Do they get some exercise? That would sort of be the assumption, considering we're in fitness. That's probably your low-hanging fruit. Maybe there's nutrition stuff as well. Maybe you program some nutrition challenges into your exercise programming. Okay, now that you've finished that session, go and eat something like this. Go and drink something like this. Send me a photo of the next meal you have so I can analyze it for you, etc. So, exercise, you can have some nutrition stuff in there. Maybe there's some mindset stuff. Some sort of mindfulness or something to do with trying to moderate anxiety levels, how fired up or anxious people are. Little 5-minute bite-sized mental training strategies that people can use to get a little bit of a workout here as well as a bit of a workout here. Maybe you also include your pre and post exercise routine. So pre-exercise, maybe there's some dynamic movements which you can embed videos for. Maybe there's some activation, some pre-exercise mobilization work, then post-exercise, maybe some post-exercise mobilization and some stability stuff. If you guys would like to check out what we do, and you can see some screenshots, I've put a sample program up there. Just head to rangeofmotion.net.au/ROMIP. That's ROMIP, which stands for Range of Motion Individualized Programming. rangeofmotion.net.au/ROMIP, and I've put a demo program sample up there for you, what 3 or 4 days looks like. And you can see how much detail I go into every day's programming. So that's step 10, deciding what's in your programming. Step 11, you want to decide on the pricing. Now, the pricing is not based on the service you're providing. The pricing is based on your avatar, on what they are able to pay. So if you don't know your avatar, go back to, what were we, step 2, which was define your avatar, because if you don't know them, it's really not going to help you. So start with working out who your avatar is. Decide on that pricing structure based on what they have. So, avatar. Based on the avatar, you put together your product. Then, still based on the avatar, you put together your pricing. Must be done in that order. You can't do it in any other way. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to pay what you're providing, or what you're providing is not for the people who can afford to pay what you're asking. So, start with that, work out your pricing. Step 12, work out the pricing structure. So not how much it's going to cost, but how they actually pay you. Is it going to be subscription based, or is it going to be some sort of one-off payment for a set amount of time? Pay $300 and this gives you 12 weeks of programming. Or is it going to be pay $60 a week as an ongoing thing, subscription based model? My preference is hugely towards that subscription based model because it's a recurring payment. There's a pretty much well accepted subscription economy now, whether you're using Netflix or Google Red or Spotify or Apple Music or etc. This is the economy now, so there's an expectation that people have. They understand how this works, and it keeps going, and people just let those subscriptions go. It's not a decision that people have to keep making. Should I start again? Should I continue? It's just par for the course. Work out how you're going to receive these payments. This is step 13. So step 11 was decide the pricing. Step 12 was decide the pricing structure, subscription or a one-off payment. Step 13, how are you going to receive the payment for this service? Three options that I'd like to raise with you. The first is EFT, which is the easiest one. You basically say to your clients, we're going to set up an EFT, or they're going to set up an EFT, electronic funds transfer, where every week they transfer $30 into your account as an automated ongoing payment. Cool, keeps happening. It works with that subscription-based model. It also gets around all the issues that people are having at the moment with any sort of direct debit. That is the second option, your direct debit option. This is an option where you work with a company who sets up a direct debit for you. I have never used any direct debit services. We haven't needed them for any of the operations that we run through our business. My preference is to use Stripe. So Stripe is an online payment portal where people, they just set up an account. So you have a little link on your website, or that you send them, they hit subscribe, they put in their name, their email, and their bank details, their credit card details. It makes a payment. You can then set up a recurring weekly subscription to that. Super easy. Stripe is what I would be going with. You can also use PayPal to accept online payments. I've always found it a little clunky and a little bit outdated. Stripe would be my recommendation. Hit me up if you're struggling with getting Stripe to work. Step 14, work out your macro client journey. So the macro client journey is the big picture. It's the long-term journey or experience your clients are going on, not what's happening in a single face-to-face session or one email that they get from you, but that long-term journey, that thread that they follow through their experience with you. So this begins with what the sign-up procedure is. Range of Motion Individualized Programming, we have a sign-up procedure where there's an online survey that people fill out. They let us know what their priorities are. They have to rank things in order of most to least important, tick boxes. What equipment do you have? What injuries? What space limitations do you have? So all of that information is there on the table, which allows me to put together that individualized program for them. So that's the start. Do you have pre-programmed interviews? Maybe if it's someone who just wants programming, but you still want to do a face-to-face interview first, which is great to build rapport, which you can do over the phone, and my recommendation would be over video. So there's a little bit more body language sort of involved in that. I would also recommend having an automated email chain. And this is even if you're not providing your programming via email, an automated chain where you're basically drip feeding information through to your clients. This is something you should all be doing anyway in the offline space, where you are sending information that's all automated, which is all synchronized with what you're actually doing with your clients at that time, teaching them how your pre-exercise mobility stuff works, taking them through some of their nutrition stuff. This is all part of the process, all drip fed through them. From there, move on to your website. Do you have a website? You should do. You can build something super simple at the moment. I would 100% recommend you go with a WordPress website as opposed to a Wix or a Squarespace. They're just, yes, they're quick, but they're a little bit more limited in what they do. They just don't have the application that you can get in a WordPress site. You can pre-buy, or you can buy a license for a pre-made website template, which looks like a $100,000 web developer has put together a website for you. You just go in and make the changes. I have run a webinar on this in the past, so if you would like a link to the YouTube video replay of that, please let me know. Alternatively, if you're in the Perth Fit Pros Facebook group, you can just do a search for website webinar or words to that effect. It'll tell you how to do that. Now, on your website, here's what you need to include. I'm going to run you through the 8 things you should absolutely be including on a website for an online fitness business. First, who you help. I don't care who you are. Your clients don't care who you are. Who do you help? AKA, who is your avatar? Second thing, what are the problems you solve? I don't care who you are. I don't care how you do it yet. I want to know the problems you solve. Do you make me feel more confident? Do you give me bigger biceps? Do you help me lose body weight? Do you help me get rid of my lower back pain? Do you help me treat my type 2 diabetes? Step 3, how do you solve the problems? So step 1, who do you help? Step 2, what problems do you help them with? Step 3, now you can talk about how you do it. We do it through online programming or face-to-face consult, video consults, whatever your service may be. The 4th thing I would include on your website is some sort of demo of your program, be it a PDF, screenshots from whatever app or piece of software you use. Step 5, what your service includes, nutrition, mindset, pre and post exercise stuff. Get all of that in there on the website. Step 6 is pricing. Yes, I would include pricing for an online service. Pricing is something that is for an online service, because people don't have expectations, I would include it. People sort of know what personal training costs. Online service, they have nothing to base it off. This is where you can include your different tiers as well if you like. Then testimonials from your current clients. These can be video testimonials, they can be written testimonials, include their names, include a little picture. And finally, what is the process to get started? So step 1, click this link. Step 2, fill out the info. So just a very clear, this is how you start with range of motion individualized programming, for example. That is the stuff I'd be including on your website. Step 16 of setting up your online fitness business, decide on your programming style and then systemize the process of programming. What do I mean by programming style? Is it functional exercise? Is it yoga? Is it kettlebells? Is it all body weight stuff? What's your style? What sort of programming do you provide? Now, most of you will have that already because you will already have some sort of niche that you are working within, some sort of area that you are already specializing in. Maybe you're the kettlebell guy. Maybe you're the body weight girl. Work out what it is that's going to be your style of programming. But this is the key. Systemize the process of programming. If you're sitting down every day for every client and writing out by hand, here is your program for the day, not going to work. Not sustainable in the long run. And it's not giving you the lifestyle that you are going online to try and build. Not going to work. Let me tell you what we did at Range of Motion. Now, I don't necessarily expect you to do this because this is sort of next level. This is like a lot of work that has gone into this. We built from the ground up and coded from the ground up about 6 or 7 years ago, a piece of software which allowed us to profile our clients with about 60 different variables, and then using a set of algorithms that we coded into this software, it would then put together an exercise program which was based on their strengths and weaknesses with sessions of different frequencies based on how often they're training, equipment limitations, and what their strengths and weaknesses are, where they needed to work, what the low-hanging fruit was in terms of what we could do to best impact their health and fitness. Now, that's a process that took us maybe 9 months to build that piece of software. Again, 6 or 7 years ago, it took us about 9 months to build this software, but it now means we can individualize for everyone using these algorithms that we have created. And we update this as we go. Updates happening as I speak. I've got my web developers working on it at this exact moment, working on new gamification strategies for the current world climate. So I'm not saying you have to do this, but if you sit down and go, right, what does Sarah need today? I don't think we've done squats for a while. 10 squats. I don't feel like we've done anything, this posterior. 10 kettlebell swings. If you're doing that, there's no common thread. There's no long-term trend or plan in what you're doing with your clients. They're not going to hang around for long. So you need to be able to have this long-term. This is a long-term plan for them. You should pretty much know what they're going to be doing in 6 months. If I was to say to you, what do they do on their final week of isolation in July? Then you can say, this is the session they've got, or this is the type of session they've got, this is what it will entail. I definitely recommend that. It also means you're then not sitting there for hours putting together the programming. So that is how I would systemize the process of programming. Step 17, set up systems to track the client journey. So again, I can send you more information on this particular point if you guys are interested, dan@rangeofmotion.net.au or through Instagram, Facebook, whatever. But basically what you're trying to do is track where they are as they go through this journey. At Range of Motion and our sort of individual businesses, we track 36 months after the initial contact with our client. So we know exactly where they are on their journey, updating the status. We know what step they are every step of this 3-year process. So you need to set up spreadsheets to track the client journey. Maybe you have software that will do that for you. Step 18, this is where you'd actually launch the service. Now, if I was working with you as a business mentor, and a lot of the businesses that I've helped set up online programming, we wait until step 18 to launch this. We fast track the other stuff and do it as fast as we can with some urgency, but we get everything set up, then we launch the service. You guys don't get to do that right now. There's a quote that I love from Reid Hoffman, who is the founder of LinkedIn. He basically said, if you're not embarrassed in 12 months by the product that you launched today, you've waited too long to launch it. It's never going to be ready. It's never going to be perfect. It never will be. Neither is Amazon. There's still stuff that they're working on. Neither is Google. But there comes a time when you just have to say, as Richard Branson would say, screw it. let's do it and launch and start. Now, this is step 18. Maybe this is going to have to be step 1 for you, or at least sort of step 6, because you are going to need to get things happening, because at the moment you're not earning income. You're not bringing in any money if you don't do that. So this may have to be brought forward. Step 19, this is where you start to leverage off the material you're producing and off your clients. Using all the pain points of your clients from the avatar exercise that we've done. Again, reach out to me if you need help in working out how to do that. Using those pain points, start creating content. Let's say there are 20 pain points that your particular avatar, which is time poor stay-at-home mums, 20 things that they're struggling with. Lack of equipment, I'm not confident, I don't know how to do these movements, 20 different things. Start to churn out content on these things. Start to churn out blogs and articles and Facebook Lives and Instagram Lives and YouTube videos and podcasts. Start churning this stuff out to solve the pain points of your clients. This positions you as the expert in the mind of your client, of your potential client. If you are the expert, you become the go-to. When people think online exercise, they think of your business. Set yourself up as the expert in that area. That's going to help you big time in the long run. It's a long-term play. At the moment, guys, with what's going on currently, this is something that once you've got your head above water and you're like, cool, things are running, then you start to work on this. But there is definitely an opportunity for putting out content now. Step 20, paid social media advertising. I realize some of you have sort of tightened your wallets a little bit now, but this is something that you still need to be doing if it's financially viable for you at the moment. Again, if you do struggle with how the social media ads, paid social media advertising works, please hit me up. I have some info I can send you on that stuff as well. Pretty much, guys, any issues you have, I've probably got some stuff to send through to you on it. So please hit me up. And finally, step 21, you need to document the experience of your clients, which is an ongoing thing. Again, this is the peeking through the window voyeuristic approach. This is your reality TV, like we talked about when we were talking about the lead up to launching this business. You need to document what your clients are doing. Now, it's easy to do now. You just hit the record button on Zoom and you take a few little clips of you interacting with your clients online. So yeah, if you can try and document the experience of your clients, what's happening, it gives people a bit of a window into your service. That's it, guys. Those are my 21 steps in how to build a fitness business. Now, what I envisage is that some of this will apply to all of you. Some of it will apply to some of you. Maybe for a few of you, there will just be 1 or 2 little points there. If that is the case, I hope you can take those points and run with them. I hope this has been of use to you guys. This is something that you do have to fast track a little bit now. Something that some of you were doing already, you were starting to dabble in, but there's a bit more urgency. So again, I hope there's some value for you guys there. If you do need a bit more guidance, hit me up and I'll send you through some resources. And if you do feel like you need someone to work with, someone to mentor you through this process, not just moving into the online space, but any current challenges that you're facing in trying to keep your head above the water, hit me up. I do have some spaces with my business mentoring stuff. It's not like I've got anything else to do at the moment. So happy to help out if you guys need the help. Thank you very much for joining me, guys. I hope this has been valuable to you. Hang in there, keep working hard, and remember how hard you're working now, because if you can keep doing that for the next 3 years, you'll be set for life. Thanks, guys. Thank you for joining me, and I will speak to you all again soon.